Welcome to Young Guns again. I'm Amy Parks and my lovely as ever co-host Greg Lange. Greg, welcome to the show. And Brad Green from the Melbourne Footy Club.
Yeah, we've got our guest on from the very start. How are you, Brad?
Good, thanks, Greg.
Kicked two goals against the Dockers. We'll get to that match when we get into the interview proper. But first of all, I think, Amy, I need to mention St Kilda's jumper on the weekend, the fluorescent yellow. I think it's a long time that the banana colour's been missing from the AFL, and I think it's great. I want to see more of it. Perhaps Hawthorn with a fluorescent brown. Any suggestions?
Oh no, I was quite happy with it. It just brought a sort of a sunshiny feel to AFL on the weekend, so it was good, and it matched our friend Nick's hair, I thought, rather well.
Yes, Nick Riewoldt, last week's guest on the show, and Brad, you're going to be glad you came on tonight's show because there's a trend developing, and the trend is that after you appear on the show, you get BOG, which is exactly what Nick Riewoldt did for the Saints against Essendon. Had a great game. We're going to go to guns blazing now and check out just how well Nick played. He picked up 16 kicks, 2 handballs, 12 marks, and kicked 3 goals, 1. Amy, as you like to say, a stellar performance.
A stellar performance. It was of the stars, and proves that you're a young gun guest. Well, you're just going to do really well. So there's high hopes for all of them popping in to see us.
Brad, you've played against Nick. How do you rate him?
Yeah, he's going to be a fantastic player. You know, he's one of these guys that can play anywhere, can play in the midfield, can play down back or up forward. So, you know, in the future, he's going to be one to look out for.
As is this young favourite of yours.
Yes, he's the grandson of a great Dick Reynolds, 3 times Brownlow winner, and this is Joel Reynolds at the Bombers, and had a great game, kicked a great goal there for the Bombers.
And next is Jamie. Now, Charmin or Charmon?
I think it's Charmin, but add a bit of class and make a Charmon is lovely. I think it's
Very
great.
posh.
Very posh indeed, that's it.
Had 17 hit-outs against the Pies, broke his way into the Brisbane lineup, kicked a very important goal at a crucial stage of the match against the Pies, which unfortunately Brisbane lost, but still a very good performance by the youngster.
For sure. And next up from the Fremantle Football Club is Andrew Brown, Brown with an E. An E on the end.
Really?
Yes, that's right. Regarded as a potential leader at the Dockers, so having a good effort on the weekend.
And he didn't handball to Jeff Farmer. Now, you wouldn't have been happy with that. The game breaker from the weekend, that there, Andrew Brown from the Dockers. And next is Guerra.
Guerra. Obviously some Latino background there. Brent from Port Adelaide, 4 goals against Geelong on the weekend, so pumping those guys well and truly.
And has a night premiership under his belt. Not bad for a young gun of the AFL. And last but not least is another former guest, Brad. David Rodan kicked a goal, a beautiful goal here under pressure. How do you rate this performance by the Rodent?
It certainly looks like a soccer background with a bicycle kit type of goal. So yeah, it was a fantastic goal.
He's played a few sports, David, so he's got some interesting skills under his belt, I think, there.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you practiced that one at training. I'm not sure that's in the circle work. 10 kicks, 4 handballs, 4 marks, and 2 very important goals for the Tigers, who bounced back. A lot of people calling for him to play on ball. Spend more time on the ball for the Tigers. He's definitely really impressed, and the Rising Star nominee for round 8, quite deserved. He could have gotten a couple of other rounds as well.
He certainly could have. So he's done very, very well.
Very well.
They all have.
Back to our guest, Brad Green from the Melbourne Football Club. We like to get our collectible. We've got many from our guests on the show. What have you brought in for us, Brad?
Well, today I've brought in an old school football jumper. It's from 1998. We won our school premiership.
Now, just hold it up. This is no St Kilda banana yellow.
It's the old woolen jumper.
It is too.
Hasn't got the modern day jumper. So
what is the difference between, say, that jumper and the modern? What's the texture and the feel?
I think this holds the sweat more, and I don't really know the full story behind it, but today's jumper's just a real light, and where the woolen jumpers, when they get wet, they're real heavy. So yeah, they've certainly changed from a few years ago.
Excellent.
Brad, I have to ask this question. I tipped Melbourne on the weekend, and I was my friend sitting next to me when watching the game tipped Freo, and I was ribbing him with a minute to go because I thought I'd gained a crucial tip on him. And then the Neats pushing it back, I just sunk into the couch, and I just was devastated. How did you feel after failing?
Yeah, I was up the other end in the forward line, and you know, it was one of those things. The crowd were going berserk because the Freo Dockers were coming back, and we were up by 1 point, and I actually didn't hear the siren go, and I saw the Wizard got a free kick, and then Parker, the player I was playing on, said, did the siren go? And then all of a sudden I'm going to put my head down and just hope the wizard missed it, but he put it through. So yeah, good luck to him.
good luck.
Yeah, no, you're really happy about that. And are you joking about it with Nates now, David Nates?
No, it's been put behind us, and we're looking forward to this week's game. And you know, we were pretty disappointed straight after the game, but Neil Danaher, our coach, spoke to us straight after the game and said it's time to move on and let's get ready for this weekend.
When you're playing interstate clubs and you're travelling, when you go over to Perth or you're in Sydney, how much of an effect does that have on you as players and on your game, do you think?
Yeah, it's certainly different. You know, you're travelling over to Perth, which is a 4.5-hour flight, and you're staying in a hotel and staying in a foreign bed, and you know, that certainly is a difference. You're not sleeping in your own bed. You're rooming with another teammate, and you're doing team meetings, and you're together all the time, which is good team bonding stuff. But you know, some guys like their space and their time to get ready.
Now, you're a multi-talented person. There was, when you arrived on the AFL scene, there was a hoo-ha, I like to call it, about you
shenanigans
getting a trial with Manchester United. Is it true? And if so, what was the story behind it?
Yeah, the story is true. I was fortunate enough to go over to Manchester United and trial out with their youth team, not with the senior team, their youth team. So I was 15 at the time, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience. I was over there for 3 months, trialling out with a youth team, and yeah, something I'll never forget.
For sure. And you've played a lot of other sports. You played a lot of cricket back at home in Tasmania, is that right?
Yeah, I used to play cricket in the summer and soccer in the winter. So footy came along a bit after the soccer finished up.
Certainly did. We're seeing a graphic there of Brad's accomplishment. AFL Grand Final in his first season of AFL football, so
that's a great effort. Of course, there's many things that you've done, Brad, that really do impress. I mean, for instance, your match against The Rock in the
WWF SmackDown.
Yeah, who could forget that?
That's a big one. And the World Equestrian Champion, of course, his favourite being the dressage. So yeah, doing very well there. And revels in Bolivian crochet. Which is an interesting one.
Which catches a few people by surprise, which I find surprising.
You don't see many AFL footballers today getting into crochet, but it's a big industry, I've heard.
From Tassie, I think Tasmania gets a bad rap. I think it's the butt of everyone's joke, which is an easy joke. If you were the tourism minister or, say, travel agent for Tasmania, what are the highlights of Tassie? I heard it's a fantastic place.
Yeah, Tassie is certainly a fantastic place. I'm originally from a town, Georgetown, a place 50 kilometres north of Launceston. So it's I live near the water and the beach and the surf, and it's it's fantastic, fantastic place. And I went to school in Launceston, and yeah, fantastic place, Tasmania.
How did you find the move over here? I mean, Melbourne and Tasmania aren't that much different in terms of weather, but how did you find the adjustment moving over?
Yeah, I suppose just moving away from family and friends was the hardest thing. You know, the Melbourne Footy Club put me up with a family, and you know, I lived with them for 2 years, and that was just fantastic, just getting used to Melbourne life. And you know, it's a bit different coming over here with the traffic, and you know, in Tassie there's one car on the road compared to about 1,000 over here. So.
And how different was the AFL culture? Because Victoria is known as the big AFL state. How different is it in Tasmania? Is it very popular over there, or? Yeah,
footy's quite massive. You know, there's fanatical supporters down there, and not many Melbourne ones, but a lot of Essendons in the north and teams like that. But you know, hopefully we can get a few Demons fans. But you know, the footy is pretty big, especially with Hawthorn going down there now.
Oh, okay.
Junkets. Politicians have junkets, you know, getting free trips overseas. When you became an AFL player, what type of perks were you getting? Bar cards, queue jumping through to the nightclubs, pole position on the dance floor. What perks have you been getting since becoming?
No, not at all.
You don't line up for the nightclub, don't tell me.
No, I don't go out.
He stays home and does crochet.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
so no huge freebies that you're getting? And
not that I know of. If you come by, please pass them on to me.
Yeah, we'll be able to. And how's the brotherhood over here between, I was thinking about it before, between Tasmanian players? Is there a lot of guys over here that you know from back home that are now playing over here?
When I first came here, Melbourne had 5 or 6 players from Tasmania. You know, we got Russell Robertson, Stephen Phoebe, Jamie Shanahan when I was here, Luke Spears, Ben Beams. and there was a few of us. So, you know, the Tassie jokes didn't come out a lot because they're certainly get going back.
That's right. They're nice and tame. Well, stick with us, bro. We're going to go to some music now. Greg, this is Girling with a song called Dust Me Selector, courtesy of Festival. We'll be back after this on Young Guns.
Left foot, chips, Brad Green's got it. Green grabs the ball, turns around, brilliant piece of individual football. Green has nailed the goal for the Demons. He'll drill a pass out in front of Green. Contra on his hammer, can he run back onto it? He's got it on that right foot for a goal. What a start from the Demons.
The jumper worn by Melbourne's Brad Green at Launceston Grammar, a winning jumper. Brad.
It was a winning jumper. We were down by about 18 points going in the last quarter, and we come back. So it was a big night.
Cinderella story. Speaking of big nights, you turned 21 this year, and I heard it was a fizzer.
No, it wasn't. It was during the week, so you couldn't get up to too much. It was during the week, so when it came to the Saturday night, a few of the boys from the footy club and a few friends, we just went down to the local pub and just had a couple of drinks. So it was just a quiet 21st.
Do you plan to make up for it? Surely.
Maybe at the end of the year, yeah.
Yes.
So end of the season, you can let your hair down a bit.
The sensible thing to do. Now, you're a pretty well-established player now at Melbourne because you've been around for a little while, and well, not a long while, but a little while. You played in a grand final in your first year as a first-year player. What was that feeling like, being such a young kid?
Yeah, in your first year of footy, you don't expect to play senior football. You're at a footy club and, you know, you're looking at players like David Neitz and David Schwartz, Shane Woden and these type of guys, and you're just happy to be there. But, you know, I was fortunate enough to get a few games.
There you are, running out.
In 2000, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience. Certainly to play finals footy and then to make the grand final was, you know, it was just awesome.
Is that genuinely that loss genuinely a spur now for you to play well? How much does it play in your mind?
Yeah, it certainly does. You know, to actually make it a grand final and to lose it, you know, it was shattering. And it makes you train harder and work harder at your game to say, you know, I want to get back there and I want to get up there and get the medal and lift the Premiership Cup.
Any happy moments from the experience? What happy moments did you have?
Yeah, you know, just walking down the race, the build-up, the whole grand final week was, you know, you got the parade and all the media hype, and, you know, we had 14,000 people at training on Thursday night, our last training session, and, you know, you're lucky to get 10 people there, you know, now. So, you know, just to have that amount of people at training even was just amazing. And to walk down the race when you're going out onto the ground and the crowd just roars, it's deafening and your heart starts beating.
There would have been a lot of emotion around at that stage. How did you cope with that, being a younger guy again?
Yeah, you know, I had a lot of senior players around me just to calm me down and, you know, just play it like another game. You know, it is the grand final, but just take it on and, you know, just do your best.
Goal celebration. I hate to bring up the Fremantle match again. Jeff Farmer, after he kicked the winning goal, ran into the crowd, Pat Cash style, in Wimbledon. How do you celebrate a goal? High 10, high fives, any finishing moves? I heard Shannon Grant, actually, from the Kangaroos, did a move from an NSYNC film clip last year one time. Have you got any such behaviour?
You know, the boys get into me a bit about my celebration of the goals. I think I just lift the right finger up and just twirl it around a bit. Just, you know, I don't try and celebrate too much, but, you know, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't.
Depends on the mood.
Yeah. What do umpires call you on the field? Do they call
Depends if they know you. Sometimes they call you greenie or come back. They don't really say anything sometimes. So it just depends if they know you or you just called nobody.
Well, what happens when the umpire doesn't know your name? We found out on the weekend, and you visited this Carlton. Well, I don't know his name, Amy, so let's find out. You caught up with, well, I won't say his name. You caught up with this Carlton player earlier this week to find out about his no-name experience.
It's your intrepid reporter for Young Guns here, Amy Parks. I'm here with Justin Davies, who played his second game for the Blues on the weekend. Justin, how'd you go on the weekend?
Not too bad. Yeah, played a pretty good game. I'm pretty happy. Yeah.
And now you're a country boy. You're from Shepparton originally, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Up in the Golden Valley.
That's right. Now, how are you finally settling in down here? I mean, apart from being freezing, I suppose you're probably used to that. How's settling down into city life been for you?
It was pretty tough at the start, but you know, you get sick of the traffic every now and then, but yeah, other than that, it's not too bad.
21 minutes, as you can see, 7 minutes left on the clock. Davies has been good.
Now, you played country football and now you're playing, obviously, in the big league in the AFL. Have you found any noticeable differences?
When I first came onto the ground against Essendon, the pace was unbelievable. Like, I wasn't sure what to do with it when I got it, so the best thing is to just get rid of it as soon as you get it.
Dives in on top of it, flicks the ball out. Davies kicks, bounce, 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 goal! Carlton back in front!
Justin, it must be kind of hard coming down. I know that I'm terrible with names, and if I had to come to a new club or something like that and had to remember like hundreds of names, it would be difficult. How have you managed with that sort of thing?
Well, I'm pretty lucky because I followed the Blues, so you know I knew just about every name that was at the club anyway. It's pretty hard to get to know like some of the officials and trainers, but once you're there for a while, you sort of get to know their names.
Now, there was an incident on Friday in your game, and the umpire was yelling out to a couple of the other players because he didn't know your name. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I probably don't know his name either, so it evens it out a little bit.
Swings it out wide, hangs a long time in the air, cocks over the top, missed it, and there's going to be a free kick, and it's coming back to Carlton.
Come here.
What's his name?
Davies.
Isn't that beautiful? Aren't you filled with confidence now?
You, number 13.
He's run into the umpire too.
Fair enough too. Didn't know his name. Can't report him. There's Davies.
Now, we've done a special thing for you here at Young Guns. We thought that it might be easier for the men in white in future if we have this sort of thing happening. You could just wear one of those and, you know, it might be easier. So next time if anyone gets confused on the ground, you'll have your name there, so it'll be nice and easy.
Righto, thank you for that.
Yeah, but we thought that if you're planning on bashing anyone or, you know, doing anything nasty, pulling anyone's pants down, it might be easier if you wore this one because then at least you won't get reported as John Smith. Much easier.
Thanks for that. I think I might use the John Smith one.
John Smith, very popular name. I think it suits you too.
Yeah, I'll use this one for the votes and this one for the report.
Excellent, very nice.
How well respected do you think you would be if you wore name tags on your jumpers?
As well
Brad?
respected as Brad. That's just
Nice one, Amy.
even he gets stuck into me. I can't be safe anywhere, can I?
Now, any embarrassing instances like that for you in the earlier days in football?
I try and stick clear of the umpires. Actually, it's yeah, just try and don't get in too much trouble and stay clear of them.
Just as long as they see your number.
Yeah,
that's all you need for the bonus, isn't it?
Hopefully, you get a free kicks now and then, but.
You're up against the Kangaroos. How tough you've been training after that loss on the weekend?
Yeah, it's the Kangaroos are certainly going to be tough this weekend. They played up in Canberra on the weekend and beat Adelaide. And Adelaide are a good side, and the Kangaroos they've been fantastic this year. You know, they've been playing good. So you know, hopefully we can have a good win on Saturday.
Last week, Pagan threatened to drop a few people. How do you feel when you know that you're in the gun? Do you train harder? Yeah,
you certainly do train a bit harder. You know, the coach doesn't have to remind you that you're under the pump, but you certainly know that you haven't been playing well, and you think, you know, I've got to do something here, got to train well, got to do all the right things, and hopefully on game day can come out.
Excellent. Well, it's time to go again. We're always cut short. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us tonight, Brad. We've had a good time.
Yeah,
Everybody's got stuck into me tonight. And we're going to end it again on a clip. Thanks, Heat Screen. This song is called To Get Down, and this is Timo Mas. See you next week on Young Guns.